Morning, everyone. So wonderful to see you this first day of March. I am the Reverend William Levwood, affectionately known as Rev Lev. My pronouns are he and him, and I am the minister here at Accotink Unitarian Universalist Church. As we begin our service, I want to invite you, if you're in person, to make sure that you've silenced your phone. And whether you're joining us in person or online, let's center ourselves for worship by taking a deep breath together.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Nancy Melito. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm happy to be your worship associate today. Welcome to Accotink Unitarian Universalist Church. This congregation is a welcoming and inclusive spiritual home, where we inspire each other to live our values. Together we care in community, grow in spirit, and act for justice. If you are new to Accotink and would like to talk more about this church, look around. Anybody with a cross-stitched name tag is a member and would be happy to share with you about this congregation and how you may join us on the journey. Of course, our minister, Reverend William Levwood, aka Rev Lev, I have to remember to say Levwood sometimes, would also be more than happy to speak with you. Whether you're a longtime member or a newcomer or something in between, we encourage everyone to stay for our social hour immediately after service because Unitarian Universalism runs on love and coffee. We're so delighted that you decided to join us today. Welcome.
I love how much you all love connecting with each other. And you'll have a chance to expand on that later in our social hour and with our meal packing later on. We have a special service today. Our multi-generational services this church year on the first Sunday of every month. Children and youth start out in the sanctuary with everyone else on every single Sunday. A multi-generational service means that the children and the youth stay for the entire service rather than going to their spiritual development classes after about 20 minutes here in the sanctuary with us. Because the children and youth are staying for the whole service, we design these multi-generational services to be more interactive, to keep the children and the youth engaged, and guess what? Adults like it too. I want to really emphasize that we have our Starting Point series coming up. It starts this Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. It's a really wonderful 4-session every other week, or in this case, first and third Tuesdays of the month, opportunity to share your story with others while exploring Unitarian Universalism through your own journey as well. And the convergences that happen both between each person's spiritual journey and Unitarian Universalism and between the people joining us in the group. It's just one of the best things that we do here. I love it so much, and so I want to encourage you to reach out and let me know if you would like to join us starting this Tuesday for our Starting Point series. It's designed for newcomers and new members, but we've had a lot of longtime members do it as well, and they find it to be both a way to learn more about Unitarian Universalism and a great way to connect with others. So I encourage anyone who's interested to join us for that coming this Tuesday. Did I mention that it starts this Tuesday online at 7?
And we'd love for you to sign up in Realm.
Yeah, sign up in Realm, or if you don't know how to use Realm, reach out and we'll let you know how to sign up in Realm because we really want to see you. Next Sunday, just a reminder, if you don't have a smartphone, that we'll do it anyways, that daylight savings time starts. And also a reminder that the second Sunday of every month, we have a potluck, and the second Sunday is next Sunday. So if you can sign up for food, that's great, and we encourage you to stay and enjoy food and fellowship after our service. Today, in addition to our social hour, where we can connect and run on love and coffee, we also want to run on love and coffee by doing our meal packing for food insecure children at Halley Elementary School We'll have the tables set up. Take your time. Be sure to be welcoming of anybody who's doing it for the first time. This is a really beautiful way that we reach out and share our love and connection and send the ripples of love and compassion and care out into the world. Speaking of the larger world, you've asked for us to share good news every Sunday, so here's some good news from the larger world. U.S. school districts in both red and blue states are starting classes on clean energy and environmental sustainability. Isn't that wonderful? This is good news, bad news. Bad news, good news. The Department of Justice prosecutors across the U.S. have suffered a string of embarrassing defeats in their aggressive pursuit of criminal cases against people accused of assaulting and impeding federal officers. That's good news because we want people to be able to be out there protesting and being legal observers. Another source of good news is that Virginia lawmakers passed a bill to expand collective bargaining rights to public workers. And I want to give a little plug also to Voice. I encourage you to get involved in Voice, which is a community organization that we were part of founding, faith-based, but also non-faith-based organizations as well. And Voice is really working to expand its connection to labor in the coming years. So I think that's an important partnership. I've been told that that's what made Minneapolis so able to be effective was the strong connections between faith organizations and labor organizations in Minneapolis. So if Dale will bring me up the gratitude jar, and if I can have 2 volunteers to pull a gratitude out of our gratitude jar, and then we are going to sing our gratitude song, our gratitude jingle as well in a moment, which was composed by our very own Quang Tran, one of Accotink's members, and the person running our tech today. Who wants to pull a gratitude? Come on up, come on up. All right, what do you see there? What do you want to tell us about that?
I see like
Yeah, turn so they can.
bunny with a weird-looking ear.
Nice, a bunny with a weird-looking ear. We're grateful for weird-looking bunnies and creatures of all kinds. What do you got?
Visiting Disneyland after 30 years. Magic everywhere. That's what it says.
Wow, grateful for visiting Disneyland. All right.
Grateful for our
AUUC
AUC
for
for
fellowship.
fellowship.
For fellowship, yeah. Thank you so much for coming up and reading that. Miles, fellowship is when we connect with each other, which we'll do at our social hour, and we just did Greet Your Neighbor. Thank you so much. And cats! Oh my gosh, I feel like we have cats every month. Oh, and there's a cat right there. So we're going to sing our jingle, which reminds us that we need to be putting gratitude slips into that gratitude jar throughout the year as well. We read those on Friendsgiving, which feels like it's really far away, but we're about halfway around the calendar, so we should start putting some gratitudes in there. So let's stand for this.
And friends, and there you may see the lyric Friendsgiving, and there we'll change Friendsgiving to Pledge Drive.
Ooh, good call.
Gratitude jar, write down your thanks and put them in the jar. Gratitude jar, collecting through the year all grateful hearts. Gratitude jar, at Pledge Drive we'll share what's in the jar. Gratitude jar, here's waiting for ya. So write down your thanks and put it in the jar. Good job, everyone.
today I'm going to read a story, The Smile That Went Around the World. It's by Patrice Karst, and it's illustrated by Jonna Christie. This is a story about a smile that went around the world. Justin and his mother were on their way to a party. Justin held a big plate of cookies on his lap. Along the way, they passed the bike store, the park, and some people waiting for a bus. Then, at the next corner, Justin saw a group of people huddled in a doorway. They looked cold and sad. One of the men held a sign that said, "Please help. We are hungry." "Mommy, I wish we could give the cookies to those people. They are very hungry." His mother thought about it for a minute, then said, "You know, Justin, I think there will be enough food at the party. Yes, let's share the cookies." So she parked the car, walked over and handed them the plate of cookies. Justin rolled down his window and yelled, "You're gonna like these. They're rainbow sprinkled." My favorite kind. This made Justin smile, and he felt good inside. As Justin and his mom drove to the party, he felt so good that he waved and smiled at all the people driving along the road. They all smiled and waved back. Then in a big blue car, Justin saw a man who looked very unhappy. Rupert Price was going to the airport to catch a plane for a business trip to Hong Kong, and was feeling very sad because he was leaving his family for 3 whole weeks. When Rupert Price saw Justin smiling and waving at him, that made him smile. By the time he got to the airport, he was feeling much better. Each day of her trip, oh, you're right.
It's this one.
Thank you. Then, just as he got on the plane, he saw an old lady struggling with her luggage. How many of you have ever done that? Yeah. Mrs. White was tired and alone and a bit grumpy, too. She was having trouble placing her heavy bag in the overhead bin, and no one seemed to care. Then suddenly, a nice young man with a smile jumped out of his seat and said, "I'll help you with that." Who do you think it was? It was Rupert Price. "Well, thank you ever so much," she said as she smiled at one another. "If there's anything else you need, ma'am, please tell me. I'll be sitting right across the aisle," Rupert said. During the flight, Mrs. White felt so relaxed, she even closed her eyes, smiled, and started dreaming of all the exciting things she was going to do on her very first trip to China. She also dreamed of the yummy Chinese food. Each day of her trip, Mrs. White met new people and talked with them about her long and wonderful life. 2 of the people she talked to were Michael and Jennifer Barton, who had just gotten married. Mrs. White noticed that they looked sad because they'd had a bunch of silly arguments. How many of us have had silly arguments? When the Bartons sat next to Mrs. White on the tour bus one day, she smiled and told them about her husband, Louis. We were married for 51 years before he passed away last year. And we disagreed about things now and then, but we always gave each other a kiss and a smile after we talked about it. Michael and Jennifer Barton quietly looked at each other and smiled. Kiss would be right too, absolutely. It didn't take long for Justin's smile to spread faster and faster and faster as it went to Rupert Price and Mrs. White and the Bartons and all the people that they met after that. In fact, after the tour, everyone went home with a smile on their face. Now the smile started spreading from person to person in different countries. People were giving the smile to the next person, and then that person to the next, and so on and so on. It spread from people to their pets, who gave it to others just by wagging their tail or purring. The smile reached teachers and presidents, don't we wish, and police officers. It went to old people, young people, and in-between people. It went to churches and temples, and sick people in hospitals. It went to people in big buildings and people on small farms, to people who were rich and to people who were poor. It went to people who worked in the library, at the market, at the restaurant. It even went to an astronaut in outer space. Justin's smile spread around and around and around the world faster than you could ever imagine. Until one day, something very interesting happened. Justin was playing on his new soccer team, not doing very well. He started feeling sad about himself, like he was clumsy and useless and not a very good player. Anyone ever felt that way before? Yeah. Coach Martinez could see that Justin was unhappy. After the game, Coach smiled at Justin and asked him if he would like to stay and work on his kicking. Your mom said it would be okay if we stayed a little longer and then I'll take you home. Sure, said Justin. In a few minutes, Justin was already kicking the ball better and told the coach he couldn't wait until the next game. On the way to Justin's home, Coach Martinez and Justin started talking about the stuff they like to do. Justin said he liked to ride his bike with his dad and shoot hoops with his mom. Then Justin asked the coach, "What do you like to do?" "I like to run, go to the beach with my family, and fly airplanes," Coach said. "Did you know that I'm a pilot and I fly airplanes all around the world?" Justin was amazed by this. "Wow, you really fly those big planes?" he asked. "Yes, and I also get to meet many people from many different countries. Just last week, I flew to Hong Kong, and after we landed, a very nice old lady with a beautiful smile said that it was the best flight she ever had." That made me smile and feel good inside. What Justin didn't realize was that that very same smile he felt inside from giving the cookies away had now come back to him. You see, even though Justin never knew it, that smile went around the world, actually started in his very own heart. He gave it to, do you remember? Rupert Price, who gave it to Mrs. White, who took it all the way to China and gave it to Coach Martinez, who flew it back home and gave it to Justin when he needed it most. You never really know just how far your smile will go. When one comes your way, it may have traveled many thousands of miles and cheered millions of people along the way before it reached you. There is a smile on its way to you right now. A smile is what a happy heart looks like, and it doesn't need words to speak. It is a little bit of magic that is understood in every country around the world. Everyone has one, and everyone can give one, even babies. Perhaps the next smile you see went many, many, many times around the world. But even more amazing than that, just think about how far your smile will go.
Where there is faith, there is love. Where there is love, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is blessing. Where there is blessing, there is God. Where there is God, there is no need. That last line one more time. Where there is God, there is no need.
That was beautiful. Did anyone finish their dice and would like to show us what it's like and practice with me? Okay, why don't you come up, Eric?
Okay. This is a hilarious dice. I don't think I had much, ideas for this dice, but
I think it looks beautiful.
I know, but the smiley faces are all different variations of the
Okay,
same smiley
we'll roll it for us.
Different variations of
All right, so what smile is that one? A little smile. Okay. All right, Zayla, come on up. All right, roll yours. And what came up for you?
Giving people smiles.
Giving-
randomly.
All right, so give everybody a smile. Yay. Hey, Noah, come on up. Okay, roll up. And what do we get?
The same thing as Zayla, smiles.
Smiles! Roll it one more time. Roll it one more time, because you got some other really good ideas.
Do a chore.
Do a chore. That would give your parents a lot of big smiles. All right, great job, Noah. Anybody else want to share theirs? Come on up, yeah.
This one is dancing with somebody if they're dancing alone. And this one is showing you care about someone. This one is playing with somebody. And this one is somebody can't reach something that you can get it for them. This one is giving a card to another person.
That is beautiful. Great job.
And this one is hanging around with somebody.
Hanging around with somebody. Great. Thank you so much for sharing. Great job. Thank you all.
I especially like that if you see someone dancing alone, dance with them. So later on the service, if you see me swaying alone, please sway along with me. I want to bring our minds back to the story, and I want you to just imagine, just think about what would have happened if Justin didn't give away those cookies. He would have gone to the party. He would have eaten a cookie or two. Other people at the party would have eaten a cookie or two. It might have filled their bellies, maybe even made them just a little bit happier. But I feel like it's likely that the happiness might not have left that room. It might have stayed stuck there at that party with those people. The gift of the cookie, the wealth of that joy stopping right there like it had hit a wall. But because Justin felt compassion for the person on the street with the sign, sharing about their hunger, asking for food, he gave away his cookies. And when he gave away the cookies, in a way, he was giving away a piece of his own joyfulness. Because he won't get to eat any of those cookies at the party. He won't experience the satisfaction. He won't experience that happiness. But in giving away a piece of his own joy, he felt another kind of happiness. And that joy, that smile, journeyed around the world, growing and growing and growing, weaving a web of compassion and kindness and connection from person to person to person all around the globe. Growing and growing and growing until it comes back to Justin when he needs it the most. In November, I introduced the idea of a gift economy, and this is an example of a gift economy. And the fact that only wealth that is given away grows. I'm going to say that again. Only wealth that is given away grows. This includes gifts of all kinds, gifts of resources like cookies, and also gifts of presents like smiles, like helping with the luggage, like sharing a story and a practice with the newlywed couple. So I hope that when we leave this sanctuary today, we remember this story and the abiding truth that it teaches us. Only gifts that are given away grow. Only gifts that are given away ripple out into the world, weaving a web of kindness and connection and love. And that web of kindness and connection and love, that's the real gift. And when an act of kindness, even if it's just a smile, ripples out into the world, it grows and grows and grows. It weaves that web of connection and compassion and kindness and light and love. So may we be a part of that practice of kindness rippling out into the world. May it be so, and may we be among those to make it so. And we're going to practice that right now. We're going to sing. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit, and to sway in body or in spirit. As we sing May I Be Light by Michael Slack from Sing Out Love, who's a minister over at the UU Church, or the UU Congregation, in Rockville. As you sing, I invite you, as we sing together, to look around the room, to smile at each other, and imagine those smiles spreading, rippling out into the world, growing and growing and growing, and weaving a web of connection. A web of connection for all people and all beings, and for the generous earth.
Out to the world for all time. One more time. May I be light in you. May you be light in me. Into our hearts, into our souls, let love abide. May I be love in you. May you be love in me. From this place out to the world for all time.
When I was singing the May I Be Love in You, May You Be Love in Me that last time, I looked over and saw the hearts. Will you stand up and show the hearts? So we're going to play a game now together. It's an add and pass. It's called an add and pass story. And we're going to use it to act out all those untold stories of the other ripples sent into the world by that single smile. Now this is a kind of midrash, which is a Jewish practice of telling the story of what happens between the lines in a sacred text, expanding and expounding upon it, which is known as the oral Torah, even if it's written down, and is just as holy in Judaism as the written text. So we're going to take this sacred text of this picture book and we're going to expand it by looking at all the smiles that went out that it didn't tell about. We know that it went to many, many people before it came back to Justin. And we can imagine it's even now still rippling through the world. So we're going to act it out. I'm going to bring around the mic. And the person with the mic will say what gift was given. And then the next person will imagine what receiving that gift inspires so that they can pass it on, share it, and pass it on to the next person. So I'm going to give an example from the story. Rupert was sad about missing his family. And that was why he was open to the smile. Sometimes it's the sadness in us that makes us open to the smile. So Rupert was open to the smile from Justin. Mrs. White was struggling with her baggage, so she was open to being helped. The newly married Bartons were struggling with those silly arguments. On and on, that smile continued spreading from person to person in different countries. So I'm going to give just a couple examples. Like, imagine someone passes me the mic, and I say, and they tell a story from their person in the hospital, and there's a relative by the bedside, and then I pass it. And the next person says, who is a police officer who is especially kind when stopping someone for speeding. Pass the mic. Who is a teacher who smiles at one of his students, one of whom lives on a small farm where her parents are struggling to make ends meet, but when she smiles at her father, it makes him happy. And when he is at the bank to get a loan, he smiles at someone in line. So put your hand up if you would like to participate, and then we'll keep bringing the mic around. So we need a few hands. So if I pass the mic to you, what are you going to send out to people?
A bird chirps at lizard, and the lizard smiles at a...
So the bird chirps at a lizard, and the lizard smiles at...
As a hippopotamus dances in a bright pink sparkly tutu on a stage in front of Taylor Swift.
And Taylor sees the hippo, and that, or someone else does. And who's next?
And she smiles to a scaly green alligator that doesn't eat a...
Smiles at a scaly green alligator. I had no idea where this story was going to go. I did not imagine this. Which doesn't eat a... What doesn't the scaly alligator eat? Which makes that creature happy, I'm sure. Who's next? What do we got? Okay. Yeah, here?
Which doesn't eat grass.
Which doesn't eat the grass. And that...
The scaly alligator ate the mosquito larvae, and with fewer mosquito larvae, I didn't get bitten, and it made me and all my friends smile.
And the person saw, some people saw that smile, and they decided to start a Unitarian Universalist congregation. So we're building up a world through our pledge drive. We're building a house for hope, and Julie Shuck is going to give the update on our pledge drive and building that house of hope, letting our light shine out into the world.
Thank you. I don't know, Quan, if you can find the pledge slide, you can put it up. Hi, I'm Julie Shuck. I'm helping the board facilitate our annual pledge campaign. We're in the second week of 6 weeks of our pledge campaign, and there's one I have to enter, but with that one we have 26 families who have pledged already for a total of $77,100. So we're about 20%. Thank you to everybody who's pledged so far. We're about 20% towards our goal of $350,000, and we hope to get close to 100 pledge units. I wanted to just briefly, I won't talk too long, but just let everybody know about the process a little bit. That's sort of in the blue arrows at the top. So like in January, our financial advisor with the board did a lot of inquiries, checking with the treasurer on what operations, inflations, what's changing in there. Talked to our HR advisor about COLA raises and what's going up in insurance costs and all those kind of things to cover our staff. And then we also reach out to the committees to get their input on where they'd like to spend their budget next year and what would, growth opportunities. So the target goals that are on the slide, you can see them. Some of them are sort of extras for this year that we hope to achieve. One is we're hoping to keep better pace with inflation. We'd like to provide at least a 2% COLA and a geo-index raise to our staff. We want to maintain a larger contribution to our depreciation for future building upgrades. We moved that from $4,000 to $10,000 recently. So we want to keep that high to keep on track. So when some big expense comes, like the roof again, we're ready for it. We're trying to maintain our fair share to UUA, which is our larger organization. So if they take like a percent of our membership and they give us kind of a target amount. And if we meet that every year, then we're eligible for grants later on if we should need a grant. So we're trying to maintain that fair share amount. We've been asked to try to include the dues to our social justice partners in our operations. If we're able to do that, then we'll be able to pick new outreach recipients. Because we'll take the dues off of that list, so we'll be able to vote for a larger group of outreach collections. And then the other thing is just small changes to our programmatic funds in places where we hope to grow our programs. But so those are the add-ons that I just want, and then with the process, so we have this campaign, and the campaign is just a time to tell us how much you anticipate giving next program year, July through next June. So then the board will come together again for their retreat, which may be April or May, and they'll look at the pledge target, what we were able to achieve, and they'll have to make some hard decisions about the budget. So these items were the things that we might have to cut because we have to do at least a minimum to keep the building and roof and the staff paid and stuff like that. And I guess I want to say that my email's up there. I'll respond to the pledge at accotink.org email. We have an information table back there for more information. If anybody would like a more detailed budget, happy to discuss that with you. If you want a stewardship call to talk about your needs and your situation, happy to do that too. And then I guess the only other thing I wanted to say is I'll be out of town next week, but I do have Jean Seibels back there who's been helping the pledge organization. We'll be around. Olivia is a good person to talk to, and the minister and the staff, as well as any member of the board if you have questions about the pledge. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. So all the stuff that Julie didn't even talk about, that's the house itself, the walls and the foundation and the roof. And then if we want that heart, want that hope to travel out into the world, then we need to raise even more so we can do extra programming and all those other things. And across the board, UU congregations are pledging more, but it's not keeping up with inflation. So even just to keep up with inflation, we really want to encourage you to consider pledging more if you're able to. Pledge until it feels good, until it brings that smile to your face that then can travel around the world. So this Sunday, and I want to be clear, this Sunday only, okay? This Sunday only, we're going to do something different. We're not going to do our Bumba community blessing this Sunday only, one time only, not the adapted or the original version, but instead we're going to do a sung community blessing that's from our Sing Out Loud online hymnal. And then next Sunday we'll start saying the adapted version for a few weeks, because we've been saying the original version for a few weeks as we explore what it feels like to have the same one each Sunday rather than alternating each week. But this is special. This is a special Sunday. So please rise now in body or in spirit. And you're going to see two slides, one after the other as we sing. And we're going to sing as I extinguish our chalice.
Join me as we carry this flame forward. It goes with us as a light. As we carry this flame toward a new world, our future's bright. This flame represents a promise, one we make with the divine. A new world we are creating, we can make tomorrow shine.
You all today, now that we have gathered together in this welcoming and inclusive spiritual home, let us go out into the world inspired to share our values and our smiles.
Amen. Social hour and meal pack next.
And coffee.